Hi, this is Chris, Video Game Dust Sleeves, and you're listening to the VGDS podcast with my co-host, Linda, aka the Gamer Girl.
What's up, everybody?
And my guest gamers, BonesZ06.
How's it going, everybody?
DanCavDragon.
Hello, everyone.
And new to the podcast, Retro Rich from Bacon Ice Cream Productions.
Well, hello there.
And to start off the podcast, as usual, we'll be doing Sleeve It or Leave It. The first game is Boxing for the Atari 2600. Dan, would you sleeve it or leave it?
Definitely. This was a great game by Activision. Very fun game. So sleeve this one.
Bones?
Man, I might get prison shanked if I don't say sleeve it by Dan, but I'm not sleeving that shit.
Uh-oh. You're going to have some haters in here.
I know. That's why I said I might have to watch get prison shanked here by the end of this one.
Linda, sleeve it or leave it?
I'd sleeve it just because the label will probably be already off of the game.
You're probably right. Sad but true.
Yeah.
And Retro Rich, sleeve it or leave it?
Oh, yeah. It's an Activision game, so it's got to get sleeved.
Of course it does.
Yes.
And the next game is Pitfall.
Oh,
All right, Rich, sleeve it or leave it?
oh yeah. There's no question. No question you're sleeving Pitfall. That's the best.
Linda?
It's so good.
I did sleeve this one.
Mm-hmm. You're not the only one. Rich did too, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
You did, yeah. Dan?
Let me check my stack.
Definitely, this is a classic game for the Atari 2600. Just one of the best games of all time, in my opinion. So you definitely sleeve this.
And Bones?
Oh, man. Let me go against everybody yet again. I have it. It's not sleeved, and I'm not sleeving it.
Wow. My heart. I can't take it.
I'm being keeping it real.
This is getting loopy already.
The next title is Alf for the Sega Master System. Linda, sleeve it or leave it?
This one, I just would sleeve it just to have Alf on the cover.
Dan, sleeve it or leave it?
Yeah, I'd have to sleeve this. This was a game I was hunting down for a long time, and I finally got it. So yeah, definitely sleeve this one.
Retro Rich, sleeve it or leave it?
Yeah, Alf's a heavy hitter on the Master System, so you got to protect that little guy. I would sleeve it for sure.
And dare I ask Bones?
This one's a yes for me. I
Oh,
want
wow.
this one sleeved. Hey, man, I got a stuffed animal of Alf in the game room.
I do too.
I just don't have the Alf game yet acquired to put in his arms to hold that shitty game.
That's awesome.
So I just need to get it sleeved eventually when I pick the game up.
You know, my Alf actually got destroyed because my cat didn't like Alf. My cat destroyed Alf.
There might be an actual reason why he didn't like Alf.
Yeah, 'cause he wanted to eat him.
He was trying to eat him, yeah.
Possibly, yeah. I mean, he didn't.
We just didn't know about it.
He didn't like eating cats, so. I
He knows Alf's a threat.
Yeah, I saw the TV show watching it with us.
I actually had two Alfs. I don't even know what happened to mine, to be honest with you.
See,
Oh,
I
no, it was a
sleeved
dust
one.
magnet,
I
too.
sleeved
Oh,
one.
yeah, it is.
That thing was like so hard to keep clean.
Yep.
Mm.
All right, final title. James Buster Douglas Knockout Boxing. Dan, sleeve it or leave it?
I wish I could sleeve this game. This is the sole game that I need for completing the Master System collection. So, if any listeners out there have a copy they can give me or sell me, please hit me up. But yeah, I would sleeve this if I could.
Bones. Sleeve it or leave
Just
it?
because of how rare it is, I probably would sleeve it.
Linda?
First off, say that title 10 times fast.
I couldn't even.
Yes, I would sleeve it.
And Rich?
Oh man. Well, so if there's two people out there that happen to have that would like to contact us, make some deals, because that is not in my collection either. Neither is Alf.
Probably in some
But,
random people's game collection and they don't even know.
Right, exactly. But
That's possible.
man, you got to get my hands on one of those. But definitely sleeve it for sure. For
Gotta
sure.
collect them. Oh,
Yes.
Bones saying.
Even if I had the box, I'd still get a sleeve.
Yeah, that's what Dan does that.
Yeah. The sleeves fit nicely in the case.
Oh, that's awesome.
Also, you can keep them out of the game with sleeved so that you don't keep messing with your box.
Exactly.
That's a good
A lot of my boxes, I just keep the game out so I don't keep messing with it.
Sleeve
some
tips.
pro sleeve tips.
Sleeve tips.
That's it.
There it is. You heard it here.
I've
The
started.
more you know. Ding.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I've started to do that with a lot of the games. I don't want to mess with the box. I keep them out.
Yeah, the boxes. Every time I go and crack open Carmen San Diego for the Master System, I literally would hear something crack. I'll just stop opening it up.
And believe it or not, the sleeves make it fit a little better in those tabs. Bones actually pointed that out.
Cool.
Yeah, they fit a little easier, a little snug, more like better than what they normally would. So, like Linda said, the more you know.
Nice.
All right, on to the next segment. Guess that box art. I'll start with Bones. You got a guess?
Can we get a system?
Danger,
Yes.
Barney.
Atari 2600.
Not even close.
Bones, you're gonna have a serious hard time with these ones because like this is definitely not your
Stranger
genre.
Danger Barney. That sounds like a mod for some like Doom game.
Yeah.
I don't know. Mr. Do would be my last guess. I don't know.
No.
Okay.
Dan?
You can move on to the more experienced Atari people.
Yeah, there's like 3 in here, so we're out of this. I'm not that good with Atari yet. Dan?
Chris, I do know this title
actually
because
know it.
you gave it away when you said it was Atari 2600, but it's very obscure, so I'll be
Okay.
very impressed if somebody else gets this.
Okay, Linda, you want to give it a go?
I'm trying to think because I've seen those hands before and I just don't remember what game it is because I've seen like a lot of these games and like I play them a couple times, but I am trying to think.
You know what it kind of looks like to me? It kind of looks like Scooby-Doo type art.
Yeah, I'm getting that vibe. I was like kind of thinking of like I've seen, you know how like you played like even like the box art from like a couple podcasts. I've been like, I know the title. Why can't I think of it? The name just slipping my mind.
Just let's go with E.T.
Nice.
Bubble.
No. Retro Roach, you want to give it a go?
This one is a little tough. I mean, I see the arms, and it actually does look like a like hand drawn '80s animation.
Yep.
And the only character that I can think of that had like purplish hands and that kind of like it almost looks like a wizard robe kind of thing. It was like kind of looks like Orko, but from Master of the Universe. But I don't know what the flame thing. It's kind of throwing me off too.
It's like a torch, I think.
Yeah.
but that's not helping.
There's a
my
couple
end
like
yet.
adventure title ones. Shoot, I can't remember the names of them because there is a venture, but
Yeah, it's definitely not this one. I don't know. I mean, I think I'm gonna have to go ahead.
Jungle Hunt.
Yeah,
I don't know.
there's that. There's Congo Bongo. There's all sorts of good ones there, but I don't know. I think I might have to defer to Dan on this one
Alright.
if he's got it.
Yeah, he's probably got it. Dan, go ahead.
Doesn't that look like a poop emoji though at the bottom?
yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, sort of.
So I just noticed that. But anyways, it's Entombed, right, Chris?
Yep, that's correct.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Oh snap! Yep,
Nice.
that's the name. That's why it's that was some weird like title. I couldn't remember the name of it.
It's a weird game, but yeah.
Played it like a couple times and didn't understand it. I was like, I need the manual. I don't get this game.
Yeah, it's just a maze game that keeps scrolling. You just gotta like, navigate through this maze before you get.
Yeah, but I was like, I don't understand. What's the objective? Do I just keep
Yeah.
going through the maze? Do I have to find collectibles? Like I'm just like I don't get it.
That's basically it. Well, I remember getting that game and going, "Is this the only thing we do? Is run away from this maze?"
Yeah, because I'm used to like like haunted house where you have to collect something and then
Yeah.
go find something. So I was like, do I just go through the maze? I don't get this.
Yep.
All right, who wants to start the next one? Dan, do you know it?
I feel like I've seen it, but I really don't know it off the top of my head right now.
Okay. Does anybody know it?
Not sure. I feel like I've seen this also.
I'm kind of stumped. Although, yes, the sinister face kind of like is slightly reminiscent, but yeah, I don't know if I've ever seen.
What system is this?
This is Atari 5200.
5200.
Yeah.
All right. There's not many titles on the 5200, so
Yeah, that doesn't help me as much, Chris. Because the 5200 titles, the artwork is very different than the 2600 artwork sometimes.
yes, that's true. Yeah, I don't know.
Bones, you want to give it a guess?
I don't know. Star Raiders.
No. Dan, any guesses?
Geez, some space dungeon.
No.
These dungeons.
Linda.
I know it's an adventure game. I just can't pinpoint exactly because I didn't play 5200 that much, so I'm like trying to like remember like what games are on the 5200. Because I went right from like 2600 to 7800. Like I didn't have 5200 that much, so I have vague memories of some of the games, but I can't remember at all.
Fun fact, I never had a 5200.
Yeah, me neither.
I didn't like the controller and I just sold it. I was like, how many times do I have to buy a controller? I'm done.
There's actually a really good spot you can buy like custom controllers for this now that don't break.
But that was back in the day when they didn't have like an easily accessible, like anything you can find. And I was just like, nope, I'm not wasting that much money trying to keep hunting down every 5 minutes to get a new controller. Because I went through like 3 controllers and I was done. And I bought like from like some random like, I think it was like a swap meet kind of thing where I just literally just bought some random like, it was like an outdoor like, hey, everybody sell their crap. And I literally went and bought like a 5200, like all excited because I'm like, I'm getting the 2600, I'm going to get a 5200. And then I went through like 3 controllers. I was being gentle with those controllers and nope.
Yeah. Gentle
They
does
were just
not
like,
matter to
nope.
those controllers.
Yeah. I was like, I'm done. I'm out, skis.
Did you have
I sold the system with no controllers and just like all the games, and I just went to 7800 and called it a day.
Did you have a guess for this, Linda?
No, I'm trying to think, but I cannot remember at all.
All right, Retro Rich, anything?
Man, I'm still like just staring at this face and I'm like trying to think of something, but
So I'll give you guys another hint. I'll give you an acronym. WOW.
An actor. Wow.
Oh, I know it.
Oh wait. Okay.
I mean, like, if it's WoW, is it? I don't know. Was there Wizard of War on the 5200?
You got it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I knew right when I said that Dan would have got it. That's why I gave that hint. I was like, I'm going to give one more hint.
Yeah.
And this will force you to get it because guess what?
Well, it
this
depends on what
came
generation
back.
you're talking to, though. You gotta remember World of Warcraft.
This would have came back. And
you
guys,
say WoW to some generations.
You guys do not want to see this one again. If I would have never said that, this thing would have came back in another podcast, and you guys would have been like, "Yeah, I still didn't do my homework. I don't know what it is."
Well, the thing is, I have this cart, but the cart doesn't have any pictures on it. It's just the word, so I would never know what the box art looks like.
You actually have the sleeve, Dan.
Did you make it for me already?
Yeah. I specifically made this sleeve because you sent me the cart. That was the first game you ever sent me to do a sleeve for.
I don't have the box though.
You sent me the cart.
Oh yeah, because it's a bigger cart. I think it's weird
right.
shape.
Yeah,
weird
the 200s are the one that's why you can't.
And I didn't have
like they were weird.
I didn't have a 5200 game, and you were like, "Oh, I'll just send it to you in the mail." And I was like, "You are okay with doing that?" He didn't even know me at the time. Like, he knew nothing of me. And he was like, "Oh yeah, no problem. I'll send it to you." And that's how I did the template for the 5200 games, because of Dan.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Yep. So thanks, Dan.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. happy to be part of that.
Yeah.
Nice.
A part of that and many other templates that I've done because of Dan.
Cool.
We'll go to the next segment, logo sleeve of the month. This month it goes to Bacon Ice Cream Productions.
Woo!
Jeez, I wonder why that is.
Nice.
You can reach out to myself or even Retro Rich if you want to get one of these sleeves. All proceeds do go to Bacon Ice Cream Productions.
That's right. And then we pass that along to great causes.
Exactly.
Because that's what we do here at Bacon Ice Cream Productions. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. And thanks again for making the sleeve. It's really awesome.
You're welcome.
We like it.
Awesome.
We like it.
And the next segment is Franchise of the Month. Take it away, Dan.
All right. For this segment, I pick a franchise at random, not necessarily in rhyme or reason to what I'm picking. And sometimes I have questions, and sometimes we just talk about the franchise. This month, or this podcast, I have Dance Dance Revolution. I don't remember. I made this a while ago. I don't remember exactly why I made this or chose this, but I think it came up a couple of times. But I'm curious if any of you on the panel are into this at all, or were ever into this, or have this game, or have the pads. And if so, what are your thoughts? Which ones are good? And how do you like it? Let's go with Bones first. And just go down the line.
Yeah, well,
Because
I
he's a
have a
giant.
plethora of these games. I have a ton of them on multiple consoles and platforms, but I don't play them. So there is no critiquing I can truly do on any of them. Not one of those that you even have. The Mario one, I don't even think I played that one. Besides the NES pad, that's the only pad I've ever used, and they didn't have these kinds of dancing games on the NES.
You never played it in the arcade?
So I
at
do
least
have
once?
a pad. What's that, Chris?
You never played it in the arcade at least once? Like any kind of dance game in the arcade?
Dude, they called me the human scarecrow when I was on the dance floor. I will never do anything that involves dancing.
Well, that's because you're like 7 foot
no.
tall. I mean,
I look so out of place on the dance floor. I'm not even going to get on one of these dance pads. You think I'm going to let somebody catch me with a camera? No.
well, Bones, we're going to break that tradition. You're going to come here one day and you're going to play Dance Dance Revolution with me.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, you
about
are.
that.
Yeah, you are. Come on. We won't record it. It will just be us. You're going to do it.
Nah, man, I've done those exercise ones, and that was horrible. I felt ashamed. I felt like at Game of Thrones, somebody should be walking behind me with a whip going, shame.
Shame. Shame.
I'll tell you what. If you do it too, and you know what, Dan, screw it. You got to be there as well. You're going to be doing it as
Yeah,
well.
I'll do it.
All of us would have
Yeah.
to do it for me to be doing that.
I've already done it, so like I have no problem with doing it. So the ball is in your court.
I know they made a ton of these games. That's
Oh,
all
yeah.
I know, because as soon as I think I have them all,
There's
I
another
find
one.
another damn one. Like, it's just astronomical how many games they made for these.
It's like
Especially
Just Dance.
Especially overseas, too, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it is crazy. Like, I could look it up, and I probably have like 20 different. Like, some of them might be the same from console to a different console, but I got to have at least 20 different discs.
You know what,
Have
Bones?
to.
I'll even one up it, and I'll get the metal dance pad with the handle, just like at the arcade. You can buy them for a console, so I think I'll get one of those just so we can do it.
Oh, jeez, look out, Dan. Better
Yeah,
bring
well-
your fancy dancing shoes with you.
I mean, I'm terrible at this game, but how about you, Linda? Are you into this at all?
I was more into it in the actual arcade. I never owned any of the games because of the dance pad aspect. I learned my lesson when I, had the like horrible dance like the little pad that you had to use for running games, 9 times out of 10 they just either get broken or they don't work. And I just went to the arcade. The only time I ever played a Dance Dance Revolution game is when I was at the arcade. I go play all the shooters I want to play, and even when I first saw it like drop and everybody was like waiting in line to play this game, I still wasn't hyped about it. Like, I would try it, I would go, not for me, because 2 things. I just don't like how much force you have to put on those little pads to actually make them work.
Yeah, you gotta stop.
It's like, not for me. You have to literally, like, you feel like you're about to break your, like, heel bone or you're about to break your foot, and I'm like, I'm good. And I saw people get so competitive with it, I was like, nah. I mean, yeah, you can make a good buck off of it, but I just could not want, and I just didn't want to either. Like, I probably could get decent at it, like any other stuff that I've ever tried in any sport. I got decent at it eventually, but I don't want to waste my time with that. It's just one of those things where you either have to put a lot of hours into it to practice, or you have to go to the arcade and shell out a lot of money, and I just don't want to do that. And I'm not by any means unathletic. Like, I could get some rhythm going, but I don't know. Just not for me. Like, I don't mind dance, just dance, because at least you just move your arms and you stay in pattern. But for this one, it's like you really have to, like, put in a lot of movement and effort. And when I'm gaming, I just want to sit there with a controller. I even sometimes don't even want to play on PC just because of the stupidity of, like, how sensitive stuff is. So if I get frustrated at the littlest things like that, I'm not going to enjoy Dance Dance Revolution.
So it's a big no.
Yep. No beans. Well, I will say the only one that I would have ever tried, and it was just too much money, would be the Mario one. Because that was the only one that I would, like, somewhat like, because, I mean, it's Mario music. But I'm not going to pay that much money just to try it.
Yeah, that the Mario one, I don't have that one, and I want to get it, but I don't know. It's probably, like, really expensive now.
It's gone up really bad. It was at one time, I think, 100. I don't know if it's gone up more than that.
Wow.
But yeah, because, like, the Pikachu one and that one and the Donkey Kong, with the bongos, that went up. So anything with, like, a peripheral or anything with, like, an add-on, everything with GameCube went up, and it just keeps going up. It might dip eventually, so just keep a lookout and
that's a whole
watch out
other
for that.
podcast.
Yep.
Coming to you soon.
Nice.
All right. How about Retro Rich? Any Dance Revolution in your collection?
Oh man, so I fell into a deep DDR hole for sure. So there was a local kind of old school arcade in I live in New Jersey, and there's an old school arcade in Dunellen that I used to go to all the time called 8 on the Break, and they had a DDR machine there, and that was the first time I ever saw the game, and it was kind of like one of those moments where I am totally not that gamer. Like, I play all sorts of other stuff. I play action games. I play tons of different RPGs. I play all this crazy stuff. But then here's this machine, right, that forces you to get up and move and, like, do all the stuff that I'm just, like, not associating with gaming at all. And man, did whatever it was, I picked the right track that day, I guess, and it just kind of hooked me. And I was like, wow, this game is awesome. I gotta, like, play some more of this. And I was with one of my buddies, and then we wound up going to search out it was a PS2 era, so we wound up searching out DDR Max and DDR Extreme, and wound up getting pads, and then played the wheels off of that game over at his house and mine. And then my buddy, he got really, really into it, and he had, like, custom pads made. And then they wound up, like, in his car all the time, so we'd come over the house and just, like, bring this huge pad that was, like, actually, like, made out of, like, custom plywood and, like, that kind of stuff. So yeah, we got real deep into this game. for a long time. We played probably for like a year and a half, and the thing that broke it actually was Guitar Hero.
Hell yeah.
That broke us out of the DDR hole, because then we just went straight into the Classic Instruments hole. And then
So
I'm still
were you
in it.
so good like you jump over onto the other pad and start doing that stuff?
Oh no, yeah, nothing fancy like that. But
No
but there was a
competitiveness.
couple. Yeah, there was a couple that required a lot of like fast rhythm
Right.
with feet,
Yeah. Yep.
and I was pretty good at that because back in the day, I also had a trap set. I was well, like not like a super big drummer, but I was in like a pickup band, and I played drums in the pickup band. So my feet rhythm was pretty good. So I was pretty decent at the faster rhythm based songs in DDR. So we used to play that, and then my claim to fame was I could beat one of the songs on expert and almost near 100% it.
Oof.
And I'm pretty sure it was on DDR Max, that one. But it basically was just you had to make sure that you were moving between left and right in a certain rhythm and not almost not change it for the entire 2.5 minutes of the song. So it wasn't extremely difficult, but you just had to keep yourself moving that fast for that long. So it was pretty fun. But yeah, DDR is good times for sure.
Good.
And actually, thanks for the tip though, Linda, about the DDR Mario mix, because I'm pretty sure I've got a copy of it somewhere in my house now. So I gotta go pull that thing out.
Yeah,
and make
check the
sure-
price right now.
Yeah, because that'd be cool. I'll put it on a shelf or something now in my in the studio.
That's
So
that's
hidden
good times with Winter Red.
hidden gem alert. Yeah, that's right.
Or have Chris make a sleeve for it, a 3D sleeve.
Oh, that could be good. Yeah, might have to do that.
All right, take us home, Chris. How are you?
Yeah. I played it in the arcade a lot. Not too much though, like not overly obsessive. But that was pretty much my extent of it. I touched it on the console a little bit, but I don't even have that many pads. Like I have, like what Bones said, I have the NES pad, and that doesn't help me with dancing games. Trying to think if I even have another pad. Yeah, actually, I have a PlayStation 2 pad. So I have played, I think it's Extreme before with my daughter, believe it or not. We played once, and she was like, "What's this? This is not dancing." She's an actual dancer, so like she's like, "This is not dancing. What are you doing? Why do you got to do that? Why are we following no, this is not dancing."
Kind of like Guitar Hero. That's not guitar playing.
Yeah, exactly.
Right,
No,
right.
it's not.
And she just like was in another world, and she got the hang of it, and she was like, "Oh, this is not too bad." So that's kind of my extent of it. I would love to have Mario Mix. I know that comes in a big box too, because it has a dance pad with it. If you get that version of it, I know that for sure. I was looking at getting that. When I was looking at it, it was $70, and that was a pretty long time ago. And I should have picked it up, but I did not. Your turn, Dan.
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, like I said, I'm pretty bad at this game. I have a couple of the games, but and I do have a pad. It doesn't work really well, like Linda said. You ever have to, for mine at least, you have to stamp on it really hard. And back in the day when I was living in apartments and stuff, and it wasn't very neighbor friendly to be jumping around on these things. So, yeah, unfortunately, the DDR craze kind of passed me by. I did get into the Guitar Hero and the plastic instrument thing, but DDR not my thing. But it's cool to watch, and I wish I was better at it. So I'll definitely take part in it, Bones, if you ever set it up
I'm
and have us
telling
go
you,
at it.
I'm gonna get the professional style DDR mats for real,
Yep. I'll try it. I'll try it again.
and it'll have the handlebar. You know how they have bars on them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do make them custom for the PlayStation.
Yeah, I've seen routines where like the kids are like flipping around on
Yeah.
those bars and stuff like that, like doing flips and stuff on it. So
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I saw a couple videos like that too. Okay, on to the meat and potatoes of the podcast. We're going to get to learn a little bit about Retro Rich and Bacon Ice Cream Productions and everything that's involved with his channel.
Sweet.
Yes. So, introduce yourself. Let us know who you are, what your channel is, actually, and we'll just go with that. Start from there.
Cool. Yeah, so my name is Rich Haywood, also known as Retro Rich, from Bacon Ice Cream Productions and Team RTFC, which actually stands for Team Read the fill in the blank F card.
You can say it.
Yeah,
It's fine.
so but yeah, so like our organization, we're basically a like friends podcast group, right? You know, it's myself, my wife, who doesn't really do that stuff anymore, and my two brothers-in-law, and we've basically been doing this for, I think the last time I checked, right before we actually started really in earnest doing YouTube again, was 15 years we've been doing podcast kind of things. It started when I started listening to an old podcast that's actually still going on called This Week in Tech. And I just kind of got enamored at the fact that like people could sit down and talk and, you know, record their voices and have like their own like radio show kind of thing, right? They could share online. And so I started doing a show based on video games I called Perfect Score. And yeah, we did that for a couple of years, and then we took that idea and then wound up going to all these different gaming conventions in the local New Jersey area, and then started covering them like news events. So we did that thing for a while. We did a lot of interviews with people that were either in the paper and board game industry or in like the LARPing industry, like that kind of stuff at these con events, which was pretty cool. And then, you know, kind of life happened. So we stopped doing that for a while. You know, I got married, had a kid, did like that kind of stuff for a while. And then there was a card game that came out called Transformers Trading Card Game. And I got it on a whim for my brother-in-law for Christmas, and I gave it to him. And he's like, "What are you doing to me?" Because yeah, we would get into like these deep holes. We used to play Magic the Gathering and like all that kind of stuff. And I was like, hey, you know, it's just it's a cool game. Like, who knows? You know, like you might like it, might not, whatever. And you know, he's a huge Transformers fan, so of course he falls in real deep into the game. I fall in real deep in the game, and then the YouTube channel, you know, comes from the ashes. We hadn't done stuff for almost 4 or 5 years at that point, and we started doing a show where we would play the game on camera, and then little by little I would piece together this whole studio. I've got light kits and cameras and all that kind of stuff now. And you know, we did that for a while, and then because it's a Wizards of the Coast game, and sometimes that happens with Wizards of the Coast, it's kind of like Fox on TV shows. They only last so long before somebody pulls the plug. And yeah, they pulled the plug on the Transformers CCG, so we got hurt a little, and we're like, oh, what are we gonna do? And there was another game that we actually do play on the channel every once in a while. It's called SRG Super Show. It's a wrestling card game, which is kind of cool. And yeah, we've been checking that stuff out, but there was just kind of a hole in the content and an urge to keep doing it, because we were doing shows 2-3 times a week with Transformers. And I had gotten used to that kind of shooting schedule. And I'm like, man, I really want to do something else. And it was around then, it was about almost this time kind of last year, where everything that was going on in the world started happening. And, you know, I just kind of like took a step back and then looked at some stuff that was going on YouTube. And I found Chris the Atari Creep, a guy named OEB Pete, you guys at VGDS, and you know, I just started like really like looking at that stuff, and I was like, man, this is awesome. This retro community is really cool. I wonder if I could just like share some stuff. And I'd actually had a offline conversation with Chris the Atari Creep, and his response basically was, "Well, then just get up and put the camera in front of your face and do it, man." He's kind of like a direct kind of guy like that.
Yes, he is.
And I was like, man, that's awesome. All right, well, sure. So, I put together and penciled some kind of ideas. And I was like, you know what I really want to do is I want to bring back my original show idea, which was for Perfect Score, but then put a twist on it, and then kind of make it kind of like an old school G4-ish kind of TV show. And so I did that for a little bit. I did 3 or 4 episodes of what I called Perfect Score Returns, which was a show that I still want to actually continue doing, where I pick a game and really kind of tear it apart, go over the history of the game, and then in particular the history of Activision games on the 2600, because I want to chase the patch scores in all these games. Record me getting the score, and then deliver myself the patch as the reward, right? And so I started doing that, and then the production schedule on that show alone I found was really, really difficult, because of course you still have a full-time job. I went from 1 kid to 2 kids, and it's pretty difficult to continue doing that stuff. So I was like, all right, well, I have to put this idea sort of to the side, but I still wanted to keep doing content. So I started Good Times with Retro Rich, which is my current almost near daily Monday through Friday show that we do on the channel now. And that is just kind of like a quick hit. I have a game or something I want to talk about, or any kind of thing, and then I just turn on the camera, shoot for 20-30 minutes, turn it off, do my edits, throw it up, and there you go. What I've been doing right now is I've been collecting some Master System and getting back into that real deep. And I've been doing this idea where I take a game that's in my stack, throw it in my Retron 5, and spin it up and play the game for 5 minutes. And
5 for 5.
Yep. And can I find the fun in that 5 minutes? And it's awesome. It's so cool because it forces me to play more. It forces me to experience games that I sort of would have just had in my collection, right? I wouldn't actually put in and turn on. And I'm finding that every single game I'm putting in, especially in this set of Master System titles, they're all huge surprises. They're super fun, and it's awesome. I really enjoy it. So, I'm definitely continuing that. And I guess that leads me to the biggest change that happened, that came in about the midway point of me doing like this, these shows every day. And that's like, what, I kind of want to give back a little. So I spun the Good Times with Retro Rich idea into a show idea that I like to call Good Times for Great Causes. And what I do with that is just about every month I will spotlight. I just started this month. I will spotlight a great cause in the gaming community. For example, this month's was the Children's Hospital of Orange County is doing a walk that's promoted by Disneyland every year. And what I'm going to do is something similar to what I did for Chris and his Walk to End Alzheimer's efforts. And I'm going to actually do a walk myself, record myself going from place to place in my old neighborhood, and kind of like telling stories about, like, oh, hey, I remember when I was 13, this crazy thing happened, tell you the story and all that kind of stuff. And then whip out a game and then, play it right there. When I was doing it for the Alzheimer's walk, I played the Moon Patrol demo on an Android phone, which was pretty fun. And this time I think I'm actually going to bring my Evercade and try to see how that goes. Play some random Atari games or something like that on the walk. But I'm going to walk this time all the way to Yestercades in Somerville, New Jersey, which is a bigger arcade than even Eight on the Break was. And my goal is to sit there and play hard driving to try to get 100K on the cabinet, and then for every 10,000 points I score in that run, I'm going to donate $10 to that cause, to the shock walk, which is pretty cool.
Nice.
And then after that, of course it'll be shining the light on Chris, because he's going to do the walk this year. That'll happen later on, September, October time, and I'll be doing some stuff with him actually, and we've got some really cool stuff to announce. Me and him have been working on something for months now. That's going to be pretty huge, and I'm so excited to share stuff like that with everybody else. So it's pretty cool. So basically, that's the gist of what we kind of do here at Bacon Ice Cream Productions. We just play games, have fun, and help out great causes.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Where did the name come from? Bacon Ice Cream Productions.
Oh, that's a great story. And you know what? It's cool. Like let's get into that. So we went to a convention in New York called Digital Life. It was back in 06 or 07. They only held it once. It was the Jacob Javits Convention Center, and it was right before the launch of the PS3 and the Wii. So we went there specifically because Sony was there and Nintendo was there, and we wanted to check out the console, to kind of get a sneak preview before the release. So we went there and shot some video and did some cool stuff. And it was everyone. It was me, my then fiance, my two future brothers-in-law. So we went in there, recorded, and then went to a Friendly's. After that, just kind of like as a cool down, we just needed something to eat. While we were there, my one brother-in-law, his name's Keith, he said something about how bacon, as basically a side item, is cool, but only for like certain things. And my other brother-in-law, because he's contrarian of the group sometimes, said, no, I disagree. I think bacon is literally good on anything. And of course the counter, because it's two brothers talking to each other now, is well, what about ice cream? You put bacon on ice cream? And Eric's response was, oh, of course. Salty sweet, let's do this. Yeah, we totally do it. And it's like, all right, well, I dare you to do it right now. So then it got escalated. It was no longer a conversation. Now it's a dare. So what happens is we eat the meal, and it's friendly, so you got to get your sundae at the end, right? And the waiter comes over and takes our order, and sure enough, Eric, because not only is he contrarian, sometimes he is just to the point. He will, a challenge is initiated, he's going to go for it. So what he did was he's like, hey, I want a plain vanilla sundae with whipped cream and chocolate sauce, and put bacon in it. And then the person that was taking the order was like, I'm sorry, what? It's like, yeah, just fry up some crispy bacon and put it on the sundae like a topping. And they were like, hold on a second. So they went and actually had to ask the manager if it was possible. And then they said, well, hey, they want to pay for the bacon. I don't care. Charge them a side of bacon and put it on the sundae if you want. So they did it. And then when the waiter came out with the order, he sat down at the table, and he's like, you know what? I've never done this before, but can I actually sit here and try it with you? Because he was really really intrigued. And we were like, yeah, of course. So we sat down, and it's the four of us, tired after this big day, and the waiter, and then we all shared. We divvied it up into bowls, and we all shared a bacon ice cream sundae. And so we weren't even thinking about that for the name of the group then. So we go to bed. We went all to our separate places. Woke up the next morning, and we were meeting back at the family house because we were going to go do something else actually that day. And we were cleaning up stuff in the kitchen, I guess. It was like after breakfast or something, and we started talking about it. It was like, yeah, it's funny. And then off the cuff, my brother-in-law Eric was like, that'd be funny. Like we had this story about like we just ate this bacon ice cream sundae together after going on the show. We did this stuff with our group. Why don't we just call ourselves like Bacon Ice Cream Productions or something? And then everyone fell silent in the room. And then we looked at each other. It was like, that's it. And then that was it. That was the history. We went that very next day on that Monday to go register the business name locally, and we did. And that's it. That was the history. So, yeah, that was fun.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I would have probably ate it too, to be honest with you. How was it? How did it taste?
Yeah. Oh, it was great.
Yeah,
it was basically like it was basically like eating a chocolate covered pretzel. Is the best. So, yeah, it's good stuff.
So, what do you collect the most, game wise?
So right now I've got 3 pretty major collections, and they're all second and minor third generation. I've got an Intellivision collection that is nearing 100, and there's only 125 Intellivision games, so I'm getting pretty close. I've got an Atari 2600 game collection that's kind of loose. I mean, it's like 700 games or something like that on the 2600 alone. So I don't think I'm gunning for a complete set, but I'm picking my favorites. What I really want is a full Activision collection. That'd be really awesome to have. And I've only got, I think, like, I don't know, 7 or 8 of the 32 or whatever that were there for the 2600. And then I have my Master System collection, and that I will go for a complete US collection. I'm definitely looking for that.
Good luck.
Yes. Yeah. Well, it really pains me because on the lists outside of like Alf and Buster Douglas and a couple others, the bigger heavy hitter is Golden Axe Warrior. That's a pretty expensive game.
Mm-hmm.
And I had it back in the day. I had it brand new. I bought it at Toys R Us, which was ironically enough my first job. I don't know what happened. I think it was part of the stack that happened when I moved to Florida. I had to like sell some stuff to move back up to the area, just have enough to like get a first place kind of thing. So I think I wound up selling it then. It was either that or it got lost in the shuffle of the move. But I didn't have it anymore. And then of course I was like, oh, all right, well, it's Master System. I'll go and pick it up one day. And then it was about a year ago when I started collecting in earnest again for Master System. I looked at the price and I was like, oh my goodness.
Heart attack.
Yeah, it's so expensive now. But I'm not averse to seeking equivalent replacements in PAL, at least for now. And I heard that across the pond you can get that same game in English for like 30-40% less than the US version. So I might actually look at that first, just so I have the game and can play it again, because it's a fun game. But yeah, that's pretty much what I'm collecting now. That and Evercade carts. I'm big into that because on the other side of the podcast coin, I do a weekly show with OEBP about the Evercade every Saturday morning. So
nice.
So yeah, and because I do all the capture for the show, the game capture, so I have to have literally every Evercade cart. So I do have a complete set currently for the Evercade, and that will continue because we gotta have it for the show. so that's pretty good.
All right, I'm gonna hand it off to Bones. You got any questions?
Do you do much, like, as far as gaming goes on current systems for anything? Do you do any kind of gaming with your kids, or plan to do more gaming down the road with your children?
So yeah, with my son who just turned 5,
Happy birthday
I've
to him,
been.
by the way. It was his birthday, right?
Oh, that's right. Yep. Thursday was his birthday. We had his birthday party today. Went to Chuck E. Cheese for the first time in my life, actually.
Happy
Get
birthday.
out of town.
Yeah,
Classic.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was a cool experience. It's basically like a kid's version of a Dave and Buster's, basically.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But yeah, he loved it. Everyone was. Yeah, we basically invited his class from daycare, and most of them came. It was a blast. He had a blast. Came home, he was just conked out. But yeah. So as far as gaming and him go, I've been actually exposing him a little more. Definitely starting on the classics. I have a At Games Legends Ultimate Arcade cabinet, and I have it customized a little, so it's got a little more games than what it came with. And we've been exploring all of the games that have tires and wheels because he's absolutely obsessed with cars. Just loves them.
Nice.
So, if there is a game that exists that is a racing game, or especially a game that has monster trucks, he is all about that. So, and there's a couple on the cabinet. We've been playing those. But as far as the modern stuff goes, I actually really haven't exposed him too much to that stuff. And I'm actually kind of waiting for. There's a new system that hopefully will be coming out in October. It's that Intellivision Amico system.
Yeah.
I kind of want that to be his like true introduction to like something that's new-ish, because it's got a lot of that hook stuff for him, right? And good stuff for me as a parent, right? There's not a lot of, there's no like M-rated stuff on there, and it's pretty pick up and play. And he already has experience with one of the games that's going to be on the system. I have a phone, and I have an iPhone, and there's a game that I actually have on my phone that's based on Evel Knievel. It's kind of like a Trials-ish kind of game, where it's a motorcycle and you go through all these different like jumps and loops and stuff. And he loves that game. There's actually going to be a version of that game on that system. So he's like super excited about it, and it's kind of funny to like see him like really excited about something that's going to like come out. It's like, oh man, it's like a mini me, because I used to get excited about everything, because my parents, they didn't get me a new console when it came out, right? I had my 7800 because it was my dad's, and that was it. When it came time for NES, all my friends got an NES. They're like, no. Then it's Super NES and Genesis. I was like, hey, how about some of that? They're like, no. And I couldn't get my Master System that I had until I actually had a rough time in school. Had my parents take my 7800 away from me, and then I brought my grades back up, and I was like, all right, I'm good. We're good to go. And then my parents went to go give me the 7800, and they lost it in the house. So what happened was that Christmas, they talked to my grandparents, and they got me a second 7800. And then came home, put away the box in the upper attic of my house, and then where my mom was actually trying to put the box, she moved something else, and behind that was the box with the original 7800 in it. So there's my extra right there. There's my spare.
Crazy.
And yeah. And so then I had two, and I had a buddy who was from France that had a Master System, and I guess he played it out. He was like, I'm done with this thing. I don't want it. But he was so intrigued with my Atari games. So he's like, hey, can we do a trade? I was like, yeah, absolutely. So I had like 20 or 30 extra games from my cousins and stuff like that, giving me games over time for the Atari. So I traded him my 7800 and 30 games, and I got a Master System and like 12 games from him. And he had some awesome games. He had Phantasy Star, Miracle Warriors, Zillion, Ghostbusters, Monopoly, all sorts of cool stuff. Golden Axe. It was really cool. So like that's how I got into that kind of stuff. But yeah. So I did a little bunny trail there, but yeah. But as far as like actual like current gaming and me, I do have all the modern systems. I have an Xbox One X and a PS4 Pro. I was a huge Destiny player back in the day. Played Destiny 1, Destiny 2. I love Final Fantasy, so I played Final Fantasy 7 Remake the second it came out because I had to. And I dabble every once in a while in like some Switch stuff, and that kind of stuff too. But right now the big draw for me is like kind of just reliving all that retro stuff. So, me and my stacks of Master System games is basically all I've been playing right now the last couple months. But I'm sure I'll feel the call again.
And how many times did you put in that Ghostbusters game?
When I had it back in the day.
No, since you've acquired it.
Oh well, actually, that's a ironic. Well, since I've reacquired Ghostbusters, I will admit that it is still sitting in a sealed box right next to me. I bought it in a lot that I have not yet opened, because we're going to do a pickup video, and it's in there. So it will be a Fun for Five soon, but I haven't played it since way back in the day, since I did that trade with my friend like so many years ago.
Don't rush yourself. Don't rush yourself.
Nice. Yeah, I know it's a little bit painful, but yeah, I've been on a roll lately with those Master System games, so you're having a lot of fun with them. So I don't know. Hopefully, I can put the rose tinted glasses on when I get to Ghostbusters. 'Cause I know it's a little rough around the edges, but it'll be good.
Okay, I'll pass it off.
Go ahead, Linda.
Is there any conventions you're gonna go to this year?
Oh yeah, I'm totally looking forward to. I heard rumors that they cancel too many games, but then maybe uncancel too many games. So if it happens, I'm totally going. That's a thing that I would love to go to. Other places on my list, I'd love to go to Portland Retro Game Expo because that'd be a cool trip. I'd take the family out to that one if it happened. If PAX Unplugged happens this year, I think they actually did announce that they were going to cancel it again for this year. But if it does happen, I've been to every PAX Unplugged. That's a great convention. So I would go there again, and then I would start checking out like all sorts of retro game conventions. It was a fun time for me when we started going, like 10, 12 years ago, and then when we stopped, I always missed that kind of scene. So I love going out and and meeting people. And now, especially for like too many games, there's a whole bunch of people that I've met in the greater retro community that I'd love to meet and hang out with. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Nice. What is one thing that you wish you did for your channel that you haven't done yet?
That's a great question. I think the one thing that I would really like to do that I haven't done yet is some like joint shows, like joint live streams, podcasts, interviews, like that kind of stuff. Just hang out like with friends on the channel. That's something I kind of want to work myself up to. I've been guests on a whole bunch of different shows, but I would really love to have people come and hang out with me as I'm doing some shows and some live streams. That'd be something I would really want to work on.
Nice. I'm going to pass it on to the next one.
Go ahead, Dan.
All right. I'll keep my questions short, but before I do that, just to say, everything you've talked about, I have something in common with you, whether it's the Evercade or the At Games Legends cabinet. So a lot of good stuff going on there.
Awesome.
Yeah. But my question is, so what's the holy grail, your most prized possession of your collection, and then what's the holy grail that you're still seeking? So what do you have in your collection? What else are you looking for that's top of your list?
Got it. All right. So, let's see. Holy Grail that I have. Um, that's it's kind of tough. I do have a lot of just stuff, random stuff.
I just have
so-
stuff. That's my holy grail. Stuff.
Yeah. I mean, actually, you know what? I think my Holy Grail is actually not a game right now. So I don't know if you guys know what or where Fun Spot is. Do you guys know of that place?
No.
I don't
No.
think so.
Okay, so Fun Spot is the world's largest arcade, and it's located in Laconia, New Hampshire. Have you guys ever heard of the movie The King of Kong: A Fistful of Quarters?
Yes, I know that.
Okay, so it's where some of that movie got shot, where like Billy Mitchell, Steve Wiebe, the whole Donkey Kong high score challenge kind of thing. Well, because it was shot there, they had a whole bunch of posters made for the movie to promote it. And on my second visit to Fun Spot, it was me and my wife who went there for like a weekend getaway, and we decided for whatever reason to go and do all of the prize games, anything you get a ticket for, like the ones you throw the basketball and the skee ball and like all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I won enough tickets to win a poster that was from the movie.
Nice.
And when I cashed them all in, I cashed in those tickets for the last one they had.
Whew.
So they literally took it off of the door that it was hanging on when I asked for it, and I was like, "That's pretty cool." And it turns out like the person that had put up the poster was like somebody that was associated with the filming of the movie, because they hung out at Fun Spot all the time. So I think that's probably my holy grail as far as gaming stuff is, because it's like like I have the last poster that they had ever had at Fun Spot to promote the movie for, and it's in a frame that's right next to me right now. So it's pretty neat. But holy grail that I want, it's actually like, for me, it's kind of like holy grail that I want back, because I had complete in box mint copies of Golden Axe Warrior, Lunar 1, Lunar Silver Star Story for Sega CD, and Lunar Eternal Blue for Sega CD. And those are some of my favorite games of all time. And I don't have them right now, and I miss them terribly. So I want to get them back. And then there's the real one, which would be Spiker, Super Spike Pro Volleyball for the Intellivision, which is like, it's almost a fantasy story. But if I could get one of those complete in box, that would be excellent for the 125. But that game is ridiculously expensive. So
Wow.
Nice.
yeah. So it's good stuff.
Yeah. That's it for me. So, Chris?
Cool.
Okay, let's go on to the next segment, Game of the Month. Really simple. You just blurt out a game that maybe you've been playing. I don't know, one that comes to mind. Anything. Bones, what's your game of the month?
Oh man, I'm gonna go with. It's gonna be tough. I'm just gonna have to pick one out. I didn't play any games this month, so let's go with Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks.
Dan?
Only because it just came out, Resident Evil Village. I just got it, so I'm playing it
Of
now.
course somebody would say that.
Nice.
Why wouldn't they? Linda?
My game of the month is Resident Evil Director's Cut.
Steve?
I played through that when I saw everybody playing Resident Evil Village, and was super bummed that I couldn't play it at the time because I can't play it on my PS4 Slim. So I'm waiting to upgrade to either the next one for either PS4 Pro or to get to the, just the Xbox One X, so that I can play it, because I already had my system crash when I played Far Cry 4. So play through that just to keep my spirits up as I'm waiting for the next game to play because it just looks so good. I want to play
You'll
Village.
get it. You'll get it, Linda. You'll get it.
I know I'll get it, but I can't play it. I can get the game anytime I want. I just can't play it until I get a new system.
All right, Rich. Game
So my game of the month is RoboCop versus the Terminator on the Sega Master System. I just recently played that on a Fun for 5, and oh man, is that game awesome! So much fun.
Nice. I'm gonna have to look into that one. I don't actually have that one.
It's totally cool.
And my game of the month is Dance Dance Revolution. Let's just keep it with that.
Nice.
Nothing
one,
like
the
dancing.
country?
Oh yeah,
You
the
gotta
country.
say which one though. You can't just pick one. There's like
Mario
hundreds
Mix.
of games out there.
Mario Mix.
Yeah.
The one that I want.
Oh yeah. So, does anybody have that?
I don't think anybody does. Bones. I think Bones. Did you say you had it?
No, I don't have that one. No.
Then that's
Yeah,
a no for
I think-
everybody. Maybe Rich.
I think I might actually.
Oh yeah, you said
To
that.
be
Yeah.
honest,
That's right.
Yeah, I
Maybe
think I
Rich.
might have the pad and the disc and box, but that I just don't know where it would be. Somewhere in the stack somewhere.
All right.
Have the Donkey Konga Jungle Beats. That's good enough for me on the game too.
Nice.
All right. I'm gonna close out the podcast and thank you all. Thanks, Rich, for coming on.
Oh yeah, thanks so much for having me. It's been awesome.
I look forward to you coming back, and actually, we're gonna talk about a topic instead of just an introduction to yourself because we know who you are now.
Yes. Awesome. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I'd love to be back on.
Thanks to the normal crew that's always in here.
Are you really that normal?
Oh yes, you are.
I'm far from normal, bro. Thank you for that compliment.
You're
though.
welcome. You deserve it. Anyway,
Awesome.
please like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, don't blow, just leave. Later, guys.
Peace.
Yeah.
See ya.
Bye.